Prior to the Italian Renaissance, gardens in Italy were confined by walls and grew necessary fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Silent meditation and prayer were the main focus up until the Renaissance, when gardens began to form around open homes and outside landscapes. Italian gardens were inspired in the 15th century for pleasure viewing and enjoyment of sights and smells. In the late Renaissance, they became grand and symmetrical in attempts to impress viewers and reflect French and English gardens amongst others in Europe. The first texts to mention the Italian Renaissance garden regarded them as being an essential piece to Italian villas by allowing them to be a place to look at and a beautiful place to look from. Gardens were intended to be placed below the home, where an owner could embrace its beauty along with others who could view the overall piece from afar.
Italian gardens have numerous components that create a sense of unity and signature imagery. They go as follows. Design. Symmetry is an important recurring factor in the composition of traditional Italian gardens. Geometric values shape the designs in the garden with rectangular, square, and triangular garden beds to outline symmetry and pattern throughout. Many Italian homes were built on hillsides, and their gardens are spread out among multiple levels and terraces, providing places to admire the garden from a purposeful point. Within the garden, plants should provide shade, and rare plants should provide symmetrical beauty. Some of the plants placed in these gardens are fruiting trees like the fig tree as well as olive, their functionality serving as effectively as their ornamental aspect. Fruiting trees are often trained to create arches decorating the pathways.
Promenade. The promenade is a pathway formed by well-maintained hedges running through the garden. It is usually raised and wide, providing a path for the visitors and family members to view the garden. The owner may walk the promenade to survey their work. Promenades are a signature element of the Italian garden and are rarely found in other expensive lawns. They are patios, walls, stone walkways, and any other hardscape providing viewing of the work.
Secret garden and grotto. In many of these gardens, there are spots that are tucked away and hidden. These spots are covered in a vine-draped pergola and often has a bench underneath, creating a grotto. The grotto is an artificial cave with sculpture and furnishing where they can sit and relax.
Water, a focus in Italian gardens as they add a nice cooling as well as a calming effect. Many times the sound of water comes from bubbling fountains, pools, and cascades. Water can serve a point of division within the garden, separating the components within. Typically, a stone fountain is the centerpiece of an Italian garden.
Statuary and stoneware. As an extension of the home and entertainment sector of life on the property, the garden is carefully arranged and maintained as a source of amusement, with traditional statues and water fountains to admire. The statues used for enriching the garden are typically statues of gods and goddesses, heroes of ancient folklore as well. Stone potting for ornate plants are also used.
Plants. Traditional Italian gardens have few flowers, so they typically include geometric beds and manicured evergreens and hedges, such as the Italian cypress and juniper plants. Among common plants is the Ficus carica, the common fig plant, growing best in dry and sunny rocky areas. These deciduous trees, which are native to the Middle East and Western Asia, grow up to 30 feet and survive in nutritionally poor soil and through seasonal drought. The common olive tree, Olea europea, is native to the Mediterranean and is also a focus of Italian gardens to represent a symbol of peace.
The design and traditional aspects of the creation of Italian gardens stems from the culture and historical reference involving their creation. The characteristics of the garden are derived from trial and error, resulting in the formatting and functionality seen in the setup of the garden. The purpose of entertainment, admirement, utility, and level of interaction with the garden all speak volumes of its signature features. The geographical difficulties the Italian landscape posed in the way of the garden was worked around and notably accredited to in the spreading out in multiple levels of the gardens, spreadings across levels as well as terrace beds. Accustoming itself to the hillsides, the Italian population took accredited as its home.